Now today I have got a fantastic news. Just wanted to share you my experience. Guys, if you're new to this channel, my name is Piers BK from GrowYourBnb.com. Six and a half years ago, I sold my estate agency. If you're looking to buy, remortgage, refinance a property soon, we are talking about some major kind of interest rate changes, and wanted to also understand your thoughts, right? Because, working with mortgage advisors on a daily basis, lenders on a daily basis 6 years ago, I was constantly in the market speaking to, those people who are dealing with it all the time. So you don't want to miss this. Let's go into the video. Let's talk about what's happening right now in the market. Now, several players in the mortgage industry are slashing their rates to compete on their businesses. And we're not talking like small cuts. Like, I think one of the provider, which is Skipton Building Society, has dropped it by 0.37%. Now, in hindsight, it might not be the kind of the big figure that we're looking for, but that's still a big cut in a mortgage world. It's interesting to see what it's going to do for home buyers. And obviously I did a recent video about, the new tax laws that potentially Labour Party want to implement in the property world. But, the real excellent news is that HSBC, I guess we've also got to go through the main street, high street lenders. They're also looking to drop. And I think the biggest cut they've done at the moment is they've pushed their rates below 4%, which is an amazing news considering what's happened in the current mortgage world. I remember a couple of, probably be about 7 to 8 months ago, or even probably slightly longer, when they announced the big jump to 7%, 6.5%. And I know, my friends who were about to buy, they were calling me going, Piers, you've got loads of experience. Where do you think the market's going to go? And, let me talk about the estate agency world when I used to be involved in, owning and actually selling and renting out properties and stuff. One of the things I learned at that time, the mortgage rate, I remember mortgage applications going through for 1.5%, 1.75% on 2 years renewal. And I remember one of my clients did a 5 years and it was like 1.9%. And, physically remember this conversation about, oh my God, that's actually really expensive, to now we're talking, 5% being a normal rate. And what HSBC has done just below that 4%, I remember like the 3.99% used to be more for, again, a variable rate rather than a fixed interest. So I guess at this moment of time, HSBC is probably the top contender out there when it comes down to mortgage roundups. So if you're a new viewer to the channel, look, I want to talk about how mortgages work and what effectively a mortgage company is calculating your mortgage in return to your salary. So I remember when, working with mortgage lenders, mortgage company used to 4.5 times your salary on. And also one of the major factor with mortgages is that you must make sure that your credit history is very much up to date. And, till date, I still manage my credit history every month. One of the things I remember, because of owning a estate agency and the amount of people coming back and asking me going, I want to get this, but because I didn't pay that £4.99 SIM card payment, I've got a CCJ on the account from years back. And I'm like, it's such a little thing that's now going to impact you potentially not being able to buy a home. Or actually, if they did, even if you pay out, there's going to be a little black mark, and you're going to be on a higher rate, because effectively mortgage companies going to look at that as a higher risk. So in a nutshell, when you're looking at mortgage, one thing I will highly recommend is get into your credit history account now. Make sure you go and look at your report and make sure there is no fault or negative mark on your credit history. Well, while all of this is going through, also I want to mention Nationwide is also looking very sharp on their mortgage rates, dropping their rates down to this moment in time 3.78 for lower rates for at least 5 years deal. And what does that tell us? I think many people who are watching this video, it might be the fact that we know these figures, and I'm trying to make sure that you guys think from a short-term and a long-term perspective. The industry that we're in as a short-term rental, most of my clients are purchasing property to turn it into a short-term rental units or service accommodation or Airbnb units, however you look at them. And it's important that these figures are going to reflect the amount of profits that you're going to make in the business of Airbnb. And a perfect example, shout out to my client Sahel, is a old-time investor, single let, buy-to-let properties, and he came to me with very little or no knowledge, but he did say to me, Piers, look, I'm very much interested now of letting properties out as a short-term rental. So I'm going to leave his review here actually. actually his Trustpilot review where he says ASD to SA, and effectively a landlord who's let out property for years and years as a normal let are now exploring opportunities to go and get opportunities on service accommodation and short-term rental business and effectively making more revenue. And I remember we landed him like a 22 nights for £4,300 worth of booking, and his normal let, I remember him saying we would only make about 3,235 on a normal let, which is still a pretty high standard compared to the market. But the fact that for 22 nights he's making that kind of revenue, I'm so pleased that many landlords are now seeing opportunities. And the fact that we're talking about the mortgage at the moment, I guess the mortgage interest rate reflects on the expenses that you're going to put in that property, right? So the lower you can put the mortgage rate on, the better deal. Obviously the buy-to-let is going to be a little bit different than a residential mortgage, but the concept of expenses on that property is going to be still the same. So like, I guess, look, this is how the market is moving very, very quickly right now. Well, listen, I guess banks are very hungry for your business right now, and for that reason you will see, I guess, a further drop and cut rates in the market. Now this is great news for people who are looking to refinance, remortgage, or even looking to buy new investment properties or just residential properties in coming months. Now what does this mean for you? Well, lower rates means yes, you are going to spend lower on monthly mortgages. Obviously everything going up in price, it's worth securing a great and a better rate. And that doesn't stop landlords, right? Because, you know, some of our clients do rent to rent business model, which is legally right as long as you've got the company agreement, management agreement, make sure the clause are reviewed by a property solicitor, then you've got the option to, you know, do the property business in the way you'd like to. And effectively what does that mean is the raise of rent is not going to be there because the landlord doesn't have expensive mortgage. Because at this moment in time, a landlord's coming back to some of our clients and saying, well, my mortgage has gone up by £400, so that means you've got to pay me an extra £400, which then effectively from a rent to rent service accommodation and Airbnb model where our client rent a property from a landlord, now they've got to give an extra £400 to a landlord because of the mortgage rate going so high. So I guess that's again a win-win situation for all the parties right now. And maximizing your investment, be service accommodation or any investment like buy-to-let and stuff, there's always different tools and services that it requires to grow your business. Now in this video I want to really kind of educate people as well. People watch my video because they're always looking for the next opportunity to grow, and the video that I've made several times in our channel is the one for uplisting, purely because uplisting is basically a channel manager. All it does, it connects all your Airbnb, Booking.com, VRBO, Expedia into one platform. It then will allow you to calendar manage. It will then allow you to make sure you set one pricing accordingly to the commission you're paying to Airbnb, Booking.com, or even to your direct booking website. It will also allow you to have a great guest communication, which I guess, you know, if you can automate it and you scale to a bigger number of properties, it is a very better way to not get involved in the day-to-day of the business. So if you're looking to streamline your operation and get the best out of your properties, there is a link down below that you can go and check a demo call out. So before you rush over to remortgage, refinance, you know, one thing to consider fully is including the fees. Sometimes obviously mortgage company, they've got slightly lower rate based on the upfront fee you're going to pay, but the overall deal that you're going to pay over the terms are, you know, you've got to choose what's going to work out best. And also if you can claim them over your taxes, because if you're, you know, if you're investing as a second property, that's your expenses to what you're doing for the mortgage application. Now it is an interesting method. I've done also a separate video around just understanding how you can maybe potentially buy and invest through limited companies for different tax implications and stuff. Now something I've always said is please speak to a property accountant, property advisor, a tax advisor. You know, for us this is not a financial advice, this is just to let you know that there is a great opportunity for business. But I speak to my friends and I say, look, I've been doing business for 10 years years, spent 2.5 years running my own estate agency, one thing I've really learned is to be able to understand the lending, the mortgages, working with different lenders, different, mortgage consultant. And it really gives me an opportunity to talk about this in the most fair way, but also be able to help so many clients buy houses. It's something that I'm really, really passionate about. I'd love to know, what do you think about the whole mortgage changes? What are you planning on refinances, new mortgages? Are you just going to look at selling your property? I would love you to leave a comment down below on this. If there is any lenders I've missed, I'd love you to share. For more information, I'm constantly looking to learn. I'm constantly Googling myself. But more importantly, I hope you found this video useful. I'm always looking at different factors in property that's going to impact my business or my client's business, right? In this case, I've got a client purchasing property, using as a short-term rental. I've then also got old clients who are already has worked with us. They're on rent-to-rent business because of the mortgage. The rents are going up. They need to make more profit, so they're looking at more opportunity on direct bookings. So all of this has got an effect to what we're doing as a business. And guys, if you would like to know more about what we do, we are GrowYourBnB. We help clients get more profitable bookings in Airbnb business, but a lot more information is in our link down below for the website. So guys, look, thank you so much for watching another GrowYourBnB video. Please make sure you hit that like, subscribe and share. And also there is a little notification so you don't miss any updates or new videos from us. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back with another video soon.